My name is Trisha, and this is Doing Life Deliberately. Today, we're going to talk about how to occupy your littlest ones while you're teaching your oldest children in homeschool. You may want to consider starting off your day by giving your toddlers, infants, and preschoolers just a little bit of focused one-on-one time. Put them on your lap and read a book. Maybe sit at the table and do a coloring page together. Maybe play puzzles together. It doesn't really matter what the activity is, but if you are able to give your littlest ones just a little bit of me time first, before starting your school day off with your oldest kids, then they may be more willing to share mom or dad later on in the day. It may be a good idea to come up with an individual space that your youngest children can use while you're doing homeschool with your older students. So for example, you can find little Tykes tables. They're just little square tables, and they've got the 4 plastic chairs that go around. We use these with my children while I was homeschooling the older children, and they loved having their own space where they could just sit and they could color or do puzzles or play with Play-Doh. That way they were near us and they felt included, but they had their own individual space, and I could still be attentive to the older kids. Another good idea is to make sure that you keep plenty of quiet activities around. Puzzles, Play-Doh, books, little people, just lots of little quiet games that are easily accessible to them. And if they have their own little place in the schoolroom or near the table where you do school with the older students, then they can feel included and near you and secure, but they can have their own quiet activities to do. Another great diversion for your youngest children is to make busy bags. Now you can look up busy bags on Pinterest and you'll find tons of ideas. But the basic idea is that you make an individual one day only activity that you put into a Ziploc bag and you pull it out when you're ready to use it. Some of these are themed. You can do them around the alphabet and phonics. You can do them around numbers. You can do them around colors. There's tons of different ways to do them. But the idea is that each day they have a new activity to pull out that will be educational and entertaining and give them something to do while mom works with the older students. Have your older kids take turns playing with your toddlers and infants and preschoolers. If you can schedule the day in such a way that you are able to do one-on-one time and teach an individual subject to an older kid, while another older sibling goes and plays with your younger children, then they won't even notice that you are busy with someone else. They've got an older sibling to take care of them and play with them. And it doesn't have to be huge chunks of time. Oftentimes, mom or dad is able to teach a lesson to a student in just 15 or 20 minutes. So have one of your older kids play with the younger kids for 15 or 20 minutes. And you can have older siblings take turns throughout the day doing this. This way, your youngest ones don't feel neglected. They're having fun playing with their siblings. They're entertained. They have someone to look at their needs, and you have the freedom to help another student with their schoolwork. If you get desperate, there's always snack time. And though you probably don't want to sit your kids in front of the TV all day, having an hour of screen time, whether it's to be on a tablet and maybe play some educational games, or to sit in front of the TV and watch an educational show, both for apps or shows. I loved PBS. There's also Leapfrog, puts out great materials that have been really helpful in teaching my youngest ones to learn the alphabet and numbers and phonics sounds. But all you have to do is go through an app store and you will find tons of options for educational games that your kids can play for a small amount of time during the day. So that's it. Those are my tips and tricks for occupying toddlers and preschoolers while you do homeschool with the older students. If you found today's video to be helpful, then subscribe to us if you haven't already. Just click on the button below and give us a thumbs up. And if you know someone who could benefit from these homeschooling videos on Doing Life Deliberately, please share us with your friends. We'd also love to hear from you, so please put your comments and questions below. We would love to hear your tips and tricks for how you occupy toddlers and preschoolers. You can be a blessing by sharing your thoughts and questions with us. Until next time, thanks for joining us on Doing Life Deliberately. See you next time.